Team, are we ready to get this show on the road? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Hello, hello, hello. I see you guys. Do me a favor. Everyone throw in where you're at right now one more time in the chat box. Where are you coming from? What time zone do we have you on? We got Singapore, we got Brisbane, we got all over the place. Give it to me, team. Come on. Barbados. Fantastic. Beautiful, beautiful. Amazing. Good morning, good evening. We got some Florida people. We got some Washington people. DC, Tampa. Amazing. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good afternoon, good evening. Dan, are you here, brother? Did I see you jump in here? Where did I see you? I've got all these beautiful faces on here. If your video is off, I'm just going to assume that you're naked. And if that's true, keep your video off. But if you're here to work tonight, get those dang old videos on. Let's get this show on the road. How many of you guys are ready to rock tonight? Give me some thumbs up if you're ready. Thumbs. By the way, let me change your entire life right here, right now. If you are on Zoom and you are muted, you can press down the space bar and it's push to talk. So you can press that down, shout at me, let it go. It'll mute you again. Fiona, you love it, don't you? You love that one.
Chat. Okay.
Isn't that cool?
Oh, yes, that's cool.
Perfect. So everyone shout something at me really quick. Let me see if you guys can do it. Come on, give it to me.
That's really cool, man.
Steven,
Wow, that's cool.
read us love.
Excellent. So feel free to unmute yourself occasionally, say something, but put yourself right back on mute because there's going to be a lot of people on the call here today. But with that being said, my friends, I'm excited for tonight. My job, whether or not you ever do anything with Tony Robbins and myself ever again, is to double your business right here, right now, tonight, before we get off this call. Who's up for that? Give me some thumbs up if you guys are ready for that. Come on, give me some energy. Give me a little something. Come on, Ann, I see you. Talk to me, Ann. There you go. Fantastic. Love it. How many of you guys were with me on the little preview event that we did with Dan not too long ago? How many of you guys were there? Trish, yes. Fiona, of course, yes. Julie, yes. Okay, better question. How many of you guys have never seen me ever before? You have no idea who I am. Oh gosh, I really thought I was more famous than this. Okay, listen, my name is Stephen Hilgart. I am the head trainer for a man named Tony Robbins. How many of you guys know who Tony is? You're familiar with Tony Robbins. Okay, that's a lot more hands. All right, fantastic. Well, listen, tonight we're going to talk about not just motivation and inspiration. We're going to talk about psychology. How do we get ourselves to follow through on this business opportunity that we've created for ourselves? How do we not only make an income, but an impact this year? How do we really make something happen? Because the world has been turned upside down, and it's our job as leaders to step up and make a difference. And I believe you got into this opportunity here tonight, and for as long as you've been with this, is because you not only want to do something, make some money, but you also want to help people. And that's what I love so much about your company already, is that the only way for you guys to make more money is to help more people. So my job here tonight is to be able to help you. How do we get in front of more people? How do we be more influential, stronger, more confident, more passionate about what we have to offer, what we can do for them, and all of this good stuff? So I know that we're in every country in the world right now. So I appreciate you staying up late or getting up early to be with us. And I want to make sure that you understand I don't take that lightly. I am going to deliver for you here today, but one of the things that I'm going to need in order for me to deliver for you guys is I'm going to need some call and response. We're going to have some fun. I'm not going to just command and yell at you, so I say jump and you say how high. Really what I'm after is to be able to get you the results. And here's what I know. If you just listen to me passively here tonight, we're going to waste each other's time. Why? Because you will only retain about 10% of what we talk about here tonight. But if I want to fulfill this promise of doubling your business, whether or not you ever do anything with Tony Robbins, I need to make sure you return this information and really embody it. So here's what I need you to do. Does everyone have something to take some notes down on? You guys are good to go, yes? Notebooks, pens, papers, something to write with? Fantastic. And here's how you can be really engaging. Here in the chat box, I'm going to ask several questions. I want you to do me a favor. Can you see and hear me? Throw the number 1 in the chat box really quick. If you can do that, boom, 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 boom. This is going to be one of the easiest ways for us to interact here tonight. So while we have a lot of people on here, it's going to be pretty tough to mute and unmute and mute and unmute and all that good stuff. But I will be asking for some answers occasionally. So with that being said, start your notes off with this. We're going to do a little review for those guys who are with us the first time, but we're going to go through it very fast. At the top of your notes, write this down if you would. The quality of my life is the quality of questions that I ask. The quality of my life is the quality of questions that I ask. Listen, I believe that 2020 was such a challenging year for most people, not because of the pandemic, not because of the government, taxes, president, weather. Here's what it was. Most people spent all year long asking really negative questions. Questions like, what's wrong with me? Why does this always happen to me? Why is this so difficult? Why doesn't anybody want to buy this? Why does everyone always reject me? Why can't I ever lose the weight? Here's the thing about asking questions like that. When your brain responds, it's usually a sarcastic a-hole. If you ask your brain a negative question, it will give you a negative response. If you ask your brain a question like, why can't I lose the weight? It's going to respond with, because you are a pig. It's never going to be a loving, warm response. So our job here tonight is to ask more intelligent questions. Questions that a leader would ask. Questions like, what am I grateful for? What am I excited about? What could I be excited about if I wanted to be excited about something? I mean, just imagine if before you sat down with someone for the business opportunity, you asked the simple question, what can I appreciate about this person before I even meet them? How would that change the conversation? If you had a full list of why you like somebody, wow, they're willing to meet with me. That's more than other people are willing to do right now. Wow, they want to create a future and opportunity for their family. I'm a family man. I'm a family woman. Wow, I like this person before I even meet them. So our job here tonight is ask better questions. Why am I bringing this up? I look at Tony Robbins as my inspiration. He's been a hero of mine for a long time, and I've been working for him now for almost 7 years. I've done almost 3,000 of these workshops here tonight. And what I've just found is I look at Tony, 44 years, this man has been the #1 success coach on the planet. And if you name a name, someone you think as successful, they've been coached by this one guy. Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jordan, Venus and Serena, Andre Agassi, Hugh Jackman, Anthony Hopkins, every living American president, Nelson Mandela, Mikhail Gorbachev, Princess Diana, Mother Teresa was coached by Tony Robbins. This is a level that we're talking about here today. And, when I look at this guy, he was not born into the Lucky Sperm Club. He was not raised by wealth. Tony had 4 different fathers growing up. He had an abusive mother that beat him up and kicked him out of the house at 17 years old. So here goes a homeless teenager living out of a car to today. He now has over 80 companies doing almost $7 billion a year and has literally helped hundreds of millions of people around this planet. How do you go from nothing to this? And I got the chance to ask him over the last couple of weeks and couple of months here. And here's the answer he gave me. He said, it started with a new question. And for those of you guys who are looking to grow this year, looking to do something with your life, with your business, if you want to make it happen, I would submit to you here, if we ask a better question today, we're going to get better answers. And here was the question that he asked himself. What's the difference that makes the difference? Why do some people create financial freedom and other people struggle? Why do some people find love and joy and passion in their relationships and other people never find somebody? Why do some people always seem to be physically fit and healthy and energetic and other people struggle to get out of bed in the morning? What is that difference? Why is it I can see 2 people who are in the same business, same taxes, president, weather, government, training, everything is the same, but yet they produce 2 different results? How is that even possible? Well, I've got 2 answers for you here tonight, and we're going to go in depth onto this. And yes, you see a white page. Yes, that's my little whiteboard. I will be drawing all over that here tonight. So you're seeing the right thing. Here's the 2 answers. What's the difference that makes a difference? Answer number 1, decisions. Now, when we did a little preview of this, I told you that there are 3 decisions that are always happening in the back of your brain. These are what we want to take control of here tonight. Decision number 1, I'll write it on the board so you can see it. What to focus on. Are you going to focus on the problem or the solution? The opportunity or the crisis? Are you going to focus on everything that's going wrong in your life or everything that's going right? Either way, that focus will give you a direction, and every direction has a destination, or what we like to call destiny. If you want to change your financial destiny tonight here, it starts with a new focus. You want to change your body, your relationships destiny, that starts with a new focus. That's not positive thinking, that's being intelligent. Intelligent people do not let the external world determine their internal world. What do I mean? Listen, if you don't decide what you want to focus on, the media will, the politicians will, the government will, the news will. Everyone else will try to decide your focus. So it's up to us here tonight. If you want to build a business, that's your focus. If you want to impact lives, that's your focus. Forget everything else. Let's pay attention to what's important to us. But that's only decision number one. Decision number two is what it means. What it means. Now, has anybody here ever been to a Tony Robbins seminar, read one of his books, watched him on YouTube, anything on here? Give me a hand up if you've seen something of Tony's before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, a couple of you guys. Great. So listen, for those of you guys who have never been involved in this before, write this note down if you would. Meaning equals emotion, and emotion is life. I'll say it again. Meaning equals emotion, and emotion is life. Let me give you the perfect example. I used this example last time too. Most people's focus for 2020 was what? Coronavirus, coronavirus, coronavirus. That was their focus. What was the meaning they created? This is the end of the world. I'm going to lose my business. I'm going to lose my job. I'll never see a paycheck again. This is the end. And then other people came up with more empowering meaning. And I use this example. I'll just go through it briefly, but I had a call a couple weeks back with 700-800 people on one of these. And this guy from New York stops me. He lives up in Connecticut, about 3 hours north of New York City, I should say, 2.5, 3 hours. And he says, Stephen, I've got a better example. I live in Connecticut. I work downtown Manhattan in the financial district. Every single day, I wake up at 4:30 in the morning. I drive down into the city. It takes me 2.5, 3 hours in traffic. I work all day long. I drive 2-3 hours back home, and I get home 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. Pretty busy day. He said, yeah. And I got to tell you, this COVID thing was really scary here in New York. I had some family and friends affected, but I got to tell you, for the first time in 13 years, I got to have dinner with my children. That's a different meaning than this is the end of the world. That's a different meaning than I got to wear a mask or not wear a mask. I got to get a vaccine or not get a vaccine. See, all of those arguments are moot when you start to realize what's really important to people. When you start to understand that, wow, this man hasn't gotten to have dinner with his children for 13 years. He doesn't even know his kids anymore. Now he gets to know his kids again. I'm not just talking about a silver lining here tonight. I'm talking about creating a more empowering meaning for our lives. Let me ask you, has anyone on this call ever been into a relationship way too long? Has anybody ever done this? Trish? Yeah. Deanna? Yeah. Come on. We're not the only ones, are we? Come on, Gail. You've been in a relationship way too long? Come on. Yeah, I see you. Guys, by the way, I can see all of your faces. So just so you know, I've got 3 different screens here and I'm looking all over the place at everyone's eyeballs. Here's the thing. Do you treat a relationship differently if you believe it's the end of a relationship versus the beginning of a relationship? Yes or no? Throw it in the chat box. Yes or no? Do you treat it differently? See, that meaning creates an emotion, and that emotion ends up being your life. In a relationship, it's so funny to watch this because it's like at the beginning, it's like, take out the trash. Yay, I'll take out the trash. And then after about 5 years, you're like, take out the trash. What do I look like? A freaking janitor? A completely different reaction because it's a different meaning. Now, we're going to talk more in depth about this today, but let me give you the last decision. What to do about it. What to do about it. Are you going to go or are you going to stay? Are you going to invest or not? Are you going to try or are you going to pass? Are you going to make that phone call or are you going to put it off? What are you going to do here tonight to build this business, to grow, to get better, to change? When we talk about Tony Robbins, a lot of people talk about him as a motivational speaker, inspirational speaker. Really what I think he is personal development. And the truth about personal development is you can have more than you have because you can become more than you are. That's an old quote from his mentor back in the day, Jim Rohn. And Jim was just this brilliant personal development speaker, and that's where Tony got his start. But now Tony took it to another level with the psychology piece, which is what I'm going to teach you today. Because how many of you guys, you have some big goals, you have this thing, you say, you know, I want this thing, but yet you do something else. Has anybody ever done this before? Is this just me? Give me some hands up if you've done this before. You know, the question is why? Why do you say you want one thing, but yet you do another? Well, there's two reasons. Number one, it's called an internal conflict. Internal conflict. What does that mean? Well, I want success, but I never want to be judged. I want to make the sale, but I never want to get rejected. I want to feel love, but I never want to feel loss. You know, what's so funny is, I've been with Tony now for a while, and I've spoken to hundreds of thousands of people at this point. And inevitably this happens when I'm out on the road speaking in front of an audience. Some young guy will come up to me at the end of it and be like, Steven, you know, that was so cool. Could you coach me? I really want to be a billionaire. This is going to be a billionaire. Okay. So he sits there and says, I want to be a billionaire, but he also smokes a lot of weed. So when you talk about the internal conflicts, it's going in two different directions. I want to be a billionaire, but I don't want to wake up until noon. Well, good luck, you know? So those internal conflicts might create some real stress, real challenges. But here's the second piece. It's called an emotional block. And this is what we're going to focus on here tonight. Tony teaches something in every program that he ever does. He calls it peak state. And if you want to write it down, peak state. When you're at the top. And state means emotional state. How do you feel in that moment? Here's an interesting question. Has anybody on this call ever seen the Netflix documentary about Michael Jordan? It's called The Last Dance. Has anybody seen this? A couple of you guys. Okay, cool. If you haven't, go watch it. It's absolutely incredible. That was when Tony was coaching Michael Jordan on his comeback tour. What you may not have heard about the story is Michael Jordan lost 3 championships in a row. He was struggling, trying to turn things around. He hires a strength coach, flexibility coach, shooting coach, and he hires Tony Robbins to get him back on point. Well, if you watch that documentary, it's so fascinating to watch Michael Jordan step onto the court because he's a stud and everybody knows it. How many of you can tell if someone is confident and they walk into the room? How do you know? Can you tell that they're confident, guys? Yes or no? Give me some hands up if you know. Someone walks in, they're confident. Why? That energy radiates, doesn't it? You can tell by the way they carry themselves, the way they look, the way they talk, the way they walk, the way they act. Tony calls it being peak emotional state. You watch Michael Jordan step onto the court, he's a stud. And not a single person would ever say he isn't. Imagine if that's how you showed up to your sales appointments. Imagine if that's how you showed up for your lover. Imagine if that's how you showed up as a leader for your kids. How would that one skill alone transform your life? That's what we're going to work on here today. And here's what I want to know. Is everyone okay if we just cut through the BS, because I've got so much to share with you in such a short time to do it with? Is everyone okay if I cut through the BS and ask you very direct questions? Is everyone all right with that? Give me some thumbs up if you're cool. Yes, 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 yes. I see a lot of thumbs. Here's my question for you. Is this the best you're ever going to be? Today, right here, right now, is this the most money you're ever going to make? The biggest business you're ever going to build? The most lives you're ever going to impact? Is this the best parent you're ever going to be? The best lover you're ever going to be? Is this the best body you're ever going to have? Is this it? Or do you have a lot of room to grow? Listen, that might sound like a stupid question, but you wouldn't believe how many people I meet that are like, no, I'm good. It's like, okay, workshop's over then. Let's get out of here. And I don't know about you, when I started my role with Tony, when I started my journey with him, this is 16, 17 years ago now, I had a thought playing on repeat in the back of my mind. Here was a thought. I am worth so much more than I'm demonstrating. I'm smarter than this. Why the hell can't I figure this out? I work harder than that guy. Why is he making the money and I'm not? I care more than that person. Why do they find the loving, amazing relationship and I'm struggling? I'm worth so much more than I'm demonstrating. And if you really feel like you have more inside of you, I know what that feels like. You know, you can do more, be more, have more, give more, but you're just not doing it for some reason. And we've all been there. There's nothing wrong with that. So here's where I want to start today's workshop. Scale of 1 to 10. Where do you feel like you're showing up today compared to what you're capable of? And time out. Before you answer, let me preface this. This number is not your worth as a human being. This is not your worth as a mother or a father. This is simply where do you feel like you're showing up energetically. 10 means you made so much money the first half of this year, you're taking the rest of the year off, you're going on vacation. 10 means your relationship is so passionate, they write books and movies about it. Okay. 10 means we're bouncing quarters off your abs. That's a level 10. All right. Level 1, nothing wrong with that. Just tells me, man, I could be making more calls. I could be eating healthier. I could be asking for more referrals. I could be marketing more, posting stuff on social media. I could be hanging out with the kids. I could be writing that book. All right. Keep them coming, guys. Keep them coming. Numbers. I see 6, 4, 2, 5, 6, 2, 2, 2, 2. 5, 3, 2, 5, 6.95. Thank you, Dan. I was gonna try to average these out. You just made it really difficult to do that math in my head, brother. 4, 5. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Anna, you bring up a really good point. I'm going to bring that up here in a second. There we go. Money is a 3. Relationship is a 10. Is it fair to say all of us on this call here tonight have an area of our life that we can rate ourselves an 8, 9, 10, guys? Yes or no? Is that fair? Of course. Yeah, 100%. Here's the challenge for a lot of us. Here's what I've noticed. I've asked this question now to hundreds of thousands of people, and here's what I've learned. There's a pattern that shows up. What do I mean by pattern? Well, let me ask you a question. We looked at these decisions right here, what to focus on, what it means, what you're going to do about it. What does it become if you make a decision over and over and over and over and over again? What does it become? Habit. Julie, you got it. Spot on. Habit is the word that we can use, but pattern is the word that Tony uses. Why? Because habit usually refers to making your bed or brushing your teeth, like something you physically do. Patterns is a little bit more in-depth word. Why? Because there are also mental and emotional patterns as well. There are mental and emotional homes that we go to. Some people, no matter what, they're always angry. Do we know somebody like this, guys? Yes or no? Yes. Do we also know somebody who's always happy no matter what's going on in their life? Yes. It's because that's their emotional home. It becomes habit. It becomes pattern. Some people have a super highway that gets them to anger, stress, frustration, depression, and they have a dirt road that takes them to happiness. Tonight, we're going to turn that around, but how do we do that? Well, here's what I learned about this. When I ask a question like this, there are patterns that repeat themselves. There's a psychological pattern of 99% of you right here, because everyone except for Dan just answered 6 or lower. We'll pick on Dan in a second here. It'll be really fun. What does that tell me about you? It tells me that you guys are all high achievers. It tells me that you are goal-oriented. You are success-oriented. It tells me that you want to get out there and build something for yourself, for your family. You want to create a legacy. I love that about you. It also tells me that you're consistently stressed, frustrated, and pissed off because you're not living up to your own standards. Can anybody tell me I'm wrong? Gail, did I hit the nail on the head? How do I know this? I'm one of you. Us high achievers who want to go and strive and do and be and have and give. That's the emotion that gets us to do that, but it's also the emotion that holds us back. Imagine if you're trying to skyrocket to success this year, but you've got this weight on your shoulders called stress and frustration, distraction. It's like having one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake. Our job here tonight is relieve that emotional baggage, get rid of that thing. But now, like I said, 8, 9, 10, 7, 8, 10, all of us have an area like this. All of us are going to be Dan someday. We're all there. We're all on our way. But here's what's interesting. Any area of your life that's going super, super well, it's great. You're happy. You're grateful for it. It's amazing. Life is good. But there's a little secret challenge in that. Sometimes when life is going too well, we tend to get stuck in a comfort zone. We get stuck in this area where there's not a lot of drive or fire or desire to go. We call it complacency. We call it, whatever you want to call it. But like I'll bring up Jim Rohn again, because he said this quote that I think about every day of my life. He said, the greatest maturity in life is to be happy and grateful for what we have, yet still hungry for more. Happy with the money that we're making, hungry for growth in our finances every single day. Happy with the relationship that we're in, hungry for a deeper connection there every single day. Happy with the body that we have, grateful for it, but still to the point where you're hungry for fitness and vibrancy and energy. The biggest challenge is that some people just say, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. And he said, well, that's really immature. For someone to just, everything is fine, everything is fine, everything is fine. Well, thou protest too much. But then there's other people who just nonstop, I gotta go, 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 and they're never happy. So if we want to hit the next level in our life and our business and our income, I'm telling you, we relieve some of this emotional stress, the business becomes easy. Because this business has already been figured out. You have someone on this line right now, Dan, who's freaking crushing it in this business. You could literally just copy and model everything that he did, and you would become just as successful. So why don't we do it? There's an internal conflict or an emotional block. So that's what we're going to work on. Now, if I look at this list, I'm just going to kind of average this out. I tried my best to average it out as quick as it could. I'll just say 5 out of 10. Is that fair? Can everyone just thumbs up? You guys are good? 5 out of 10 for the entire team all together? Okay, cool. So here's what this tells me. On average, 50%. That tells us there's a lot of room to what? If I want to make something happen here, I'm going 5 out of 10, 50%. There's a lot of room to what? Grow. It also tells me we're leaving 50% on the table every day. 50% of our leads, our prospects, our potential business partners, 50% of our sales, 50. How many of you guys would like a 50% raise this year? Anybody want 50% more money? Okay, how about 50% more energy to raise your hands, everybody? Yeah! Okay, cool. How do we bridge this gap? Well, listen, you sure as hell don't do it with positive thinking. You can't just go to the garden and chant, there's no weeds, there's no weeds, there's no weeds, because the weeds will come take your garden. Our job here tonight is to identify those suckers, rip them out. So tell me, when things haven't gone your way, when things didn't quite work out for you, when things just weren't as good as you wanted them to be, why? What stopped you? What slowed you down? What held you back? What was it? Throw it in the chat box that said, listen, I could be doing so much better if only I had more blank. I could be doing so much better if I didn't have to deal with blank. Distractions, love it. Belief, confidence, action, stress, fear. There we go, the big 4-letter F word. If I had more courage, mind, distraction, excuses, doubt, PTSD. What else? Impairment of time, fear, health challenges. Yeah, listen, most people don't do well because they don't feel well. That's the truth. Time, big one. What else holds us back? Catastrophes, yes. I'm going to try to, I might have to cut some of this a little bit just so I have enough space on my whiteboard here. People, yeah, people suck, don't they, Heather? Belief in self, yes, I love it. My favorite one didn't make the list here. It's when people put it off for tomorrow. What's that one called? Anybody know? Procrastination, yeah. Does anybody here procrastinate? Just out of curiosity? Okay, the rest of you guys are going to raise your hand tomorrow, right? Mary, come on. There we go. Procrastination is a big one. I love it. And guys, listen, by the way, my mom thinks I'm funny, so you guys are just going to have to play along today, okay? So listen, we got a pretty good list here, but what would you call this list? If someone came up to you and said, you don't understand. I don't have time. I don't have money. It's too hard. It's too difficult. I'm tired. There's big catastrophes, excuses, right? Challenges, problems, obstacles. Here's the word that Tony gave me, and it changed my life. Write it down if you want. These are called resources. Time is a resource. Money is a resource. Attention is a resource. But at the end of the day, it's never our resources that determines our lives. It's our resourcefulness. How resourceful can you get when you don't have it? You don't have the time. How do you find the time? You don't have the money. How do you find the money? You got kids to take care of. How do you still get the job done? You get sent home quarantined. How do you still get the job done? That's what we're after here today, is this idea of how do I become resourceful when there don't seem to be resources? And let me tell you another secret. Resourcefulness is an emotional state. Creativity is an emotion in that moment. Some people on this call, I know that you say, well, I'm not very creative. I'm not very resourceful. No, that's not true. In moments, you are. In those moments, you're creative. In moments, you're resourceful. In other moments, how many of you guys have had those days where you walk out the door, someone else buys your coffee that day because you just look damn good. You're like, yeah, man, I must look really good. I feel good. You're strolling down the street. Everyone tells you, yes, things are going really well. We've all had those days, yeah? And then you've had other days where you tripped and fall out the door. You scuffed your knee. You spilled your coffee on their lap. Everyone told you to go to hell. What was the difference between those 2 days? The emotional state you were in. Now, when I talk about resourcefulness, some of you guys, I mentioned this before. About 17 years ago is when my journey with Tony started. At that point in my life, I was homeless. I lived on the streets of Chicago for 2 years. I spent the last of my food money I had no business spending, on a seminar ticket to go see Tony Robbins. I thought it was going to be love and hugs and motivation. It was not. It was a very direct conversation. If you've never seen Tony before, he's 6'7", 275 pounds. He's a big freaking boy. He gets in my face when I was young. He said, listen, kid, the reason you're failing at your life today is not because of a lack of resources out there. It's a lack of resourcefulness in here. You must find a way when everyone else tells you there isn't a way. And if there isn't a way, you freaking make a way. That's the attitude we have to adopt, guys. Tell me, is the world, the economy, and this business, is everything going to be different post-coronavirus? Yes or no? Is it all going to be different? Follow-up question. Is it already different? And I got to tell you, I'm coaching hundreds of people every single day, and 90% of them are crossing their fingers, hoping and praying things go back to the way they were. Let me tell you the truth. It's never going back to the way it was. Yes, you're going to get to see people in person. Yes, you're going to go to bars and nightclubs and restaurants and hang out with people. But this digital version of our lives that we're experiencing right here in this moment, this is never going away again. And it's only going to intensify. How you show up on social media is going to change things. How you show up online, how you show up on this video right here, right now. Is this a business meeting for you? Listen, I know we got people in all time zones, so I'm not picking on anybody here tonight. But how you show up on this call right here, right now, it might not be super important today. I'm telling you, tomorrow, it's going to be really freaking important. Now with this new world global economy, things are changing faster than ever. My business, I've got 50 employees. Half of them are in Vietnam. When we're asleep in the US, those guys are up and working. We have a business that's cranking 24 hours a day. They need to be able to show up online properly. Otherwise, they would never be able to do business with us. Does this make sense? Are you with me here, guys? Here's the thing. Resourcefulness is a big attitude. Why? Because I'm coaching the Fortune 500s every single day. And I got to tell you, these guys, it's so funny to me because no matter how many people they have on their team, they still say, we don't have enough people. No matter who they have on their team, they say, we don't have the right people. Some of these guys literally have billions of dollars at their fingertips and they still say, we don't have enough money for that. It's never a lack of resources. It's always a lack of resourcefulness. If we're going to transform where we are right here, right now, today, we got to get this idea. We cannot use the excuse anymore if I don't have the resources. But that's going to take a little conditioning. That's going to take a little training. I don't expect you to change overnight, but here's what I do expect. Today is the start. Everyone looks at these giant cruise ships. You can't change your destination overnight, but you can sure as hell change your direction. And all we got to do right here, right now, today is make a couple new decisions of what to focus on. What does it mean? What are you going to do about it? Now, with that being said, there's a very fancy psychological term for this stuff, and I want you to write it down in your notes. This stuff right here is called our BS. Which stands for what, ladies and gentlemen? Who knows? Bullshit. No, Julie. Belief systems. Belief systems. Bullshit. Come on. There we go. Anne's got it. Listen, how many of you guys think it would be really cool to go get coached by Tony Robbins one-on-one? Anybody think that'd be really cool? Okay, great. I got permission to sign you up. Here's what it is. It's $2 million for 8 hours for the year, plus a piece of your business. And as of last week, there's a 4.5-year waiting list. Or you can come to this workshop right here, right now. I'll teach you what he taught me on the first session. Does that sound a little better? Give me some thumbs up if you guys are up for that one. All right, cool. So here's what I want you to do. Somewhere on your notes, I want you to draw 4 boxes like a little window, just like this. And this will help keep us organized here. In the top left box, I want you to write the word beliefs. Why? Because it's not this thing that holds us back. It's how do we think about that thing? All day long, people tell me, Stephen, you don't understand. I can't be successful because I don't have any money. Other people say the money is out there. I just got to go get it. That's a major difference in belief systems. All day long, people tell me, Stephen, you don't understand. There's no time. There's never any time. Other people say, if this is important to me, I'm going to make time for this. You guys all made time to be here today. You didn't know how bad my jokes were going to be, but you made time to be here. But look at this, team. That's a different decision than other people made. 280 people registered for tonight's class. There's 185 of us on here now. And you've got kids to take care of too. You got calls and emails and business dialing piling up right now too. Some of you guys here, your mom paid you to come. My mom paid you to come hang out with me. That's what it was. Some of you guys, it's late at night. Some of you guys, it's early in the morning. You still chose to be here. They chose not to be. Do you want to know the difference between all success and failure in life? Different decisions in the same situation. Different decisions in the same situation. Now, why do we talk about beliefs when it comes to decisions? Your beliefs are the guiding force of every decision you make. Think about this. Why do you decide what you decide? Why do you decide go or stay, invest or not, try or pass? Why do you decide that? It's because of a thought, isn't it? What is that thought? A belief. That belief says, yeah, it's worth it to go. It's worth it to try. Or maybe it's not. And you will never outsell or out-earn or outperform your current belief systems. In plain English, you are never going to make $100,000 a year if you believe 50,000 is all you're capable of. Because I'm a man, because I'm a woman, because I'm too old, because I'm too young. If you believe that crap, that's where you stay. Are there people in this company making millions and millions of dollars, guys? Yes or no? Of course there are. But you will never hit that level if you believe that 100,000 is all the cap for you. Because I come from this family. I come from this background. You don't understand. I've got this education. I've got kids. I'm too busy. I'm too this. I'm too that. Here's the thing. All of this stuff you told me, distractions, belief, confidence, action, stress, fear, it's all true. But it doesn't matter if it's true or not. I love the old Henry Ford quote. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. Either way, you're right. And if we're going to change these, here's what I want to, let's identify them first. There's really only 2. If you want to write them down. Number 1, it's called empowering beliefs. Empowering beliefs. These are the ones that say, I can, I will, I do, I am. If there's a will, there's a way. And if there's not a way, I'll freaking make a way. Get out of my way. That's the attitude.
Renee is.
Who is that? Who is that? Andrea. We just get to tease everybody. We get to pick on him now. We're a little more informal here. We don't have to be super serious. But empowering beliefs are the ones that say, listen, there's no such thing as failure, only learning. When I learn, I can grow. When I grow, I can win. If one person could do this, many people could do it. If many people could do it, so can I. I'm talking the attitude. Now, I'm not saying be positive all the time. I'm not saying be obnoxious and over the top like I am. Here's what I'm telling you. We must learn how to balance out this other list. This list you just gave me, all of these things right here, no matter how true, how false they are, here's what it are. Limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs. Now, time out for a second. I know we started a couple of minutes late here. We've got a lot of people on the call here tonight. I'm trying to jam a 3.5-hour workshop training into under an hour. I'm doing a shit job so far. Is everyone okay if we go about 15, 20 minutes over the time? Is that okay? Can I go really advanced for you guys here tonight? Yes? Okay, cool. Let me go really advanced. There are only 3 types of limiting beliefs. 3 types. Here's what they're called. Hopeless, helpless, and worthless. Hopeless, helpless, and worthless. Hopeless beliefs are the ones that somebody gets on this call and says, you know what, Stephen, just shut up. Nobody can make any money right now. Nobody can build this business right now. Don't you see what's going on out there? Are you naive? Are you stupid? The government's just going to shut me down again. Taxes are going up. Interest rates are going up. There's no houses for me to buy. I don't even have a place to live. There's no money. Government stop paying. I don't know what the hell to do. It can't be done. Relationships never last anyways. These are called hopeless. Now, that might sound a little over the top, but tell me, give me a hand up if you have heard somebody say something like this recently. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, yeah. I mean, at least half of us, it looks like. Here's the next one. It's called helpless. Helpless beliefs. Fine, Trish can do it, Ann can do it, Narelle can do it, Julie can do it, but I don't look as good as those guys do. I don't have their charisma. I don't have their book of business. They've got more education than me. They've got more money than me. They've got less kids than me. That's why they can be successful and I can't. Team, helpless beliefs are the most toxic beliefs inside of a team, inside of an organization. This is one of the exact reasons why teams fail and crumble. Because it's too easy to look at the scoreboard every week and see somebody like Dan, oh, there, Dan's at the top again, Dan's at the top again, Dan's at the top again. You see that over and over again. It's too damn easy to come up with a belief that he's somehow special. He got leads handed to him. People already know him. He's got a big following already. That's why he can do it and I can't. He's got less kids than me. I've got kids. You don't understand. But what's even worse is when 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 people all adopt the same beliefs about someone who's at the top of the scoreboard. Is this making sense, team? If you're with me, throw the number 1 in the chat box again, just so I know that you understand this one. Because when I get hired to actually turn around a team and they pay me the big money, that's the first thing I'm looking for. What do you believe about who are the top performers in the organization? Because if it's a toxic belief, here's the truth, team. And if anybody's doing better than you in this business, it's not because they're better than you. It's because they're doing something different. It might be majorly different. It might be really subtle. And what I tend to find is that when people are going from like moderate success to extreme success, it's very subtle. Because you might look at someone and say, well, I'm doing that. I'm doing all of that. I don't understand. I'm doing that. I'm doing everything that they're doing. They're just special. You're not. We'll identify some of those things later today, but here's the last one. It's called worthless. Fine, Stephen, you're right. Everybody can make money. Everybody can become successful. Everybody can find love. But if I'm being honest with you, man, I just don't think I deserve it. I don't think I'm worth it. I don't think if I made that money, I'd ever be able to keep it. I don't think if I got into that relationship with that person that I've been just dreaming of, I don't think I'd ever be able to make them stay. Can everybody see how devastating this psychology and these beliefs could be to somebody's life, their career, their business? Can you guys all see this? Yes or no? Yes. This is the enemy. It's not you. You are not the enemy. Here's the interesting part. If I look at a little kid is misbehaving. I don't go to little Johnny and say, Johnny, you're an idiot. You're a stupid kid. No, I say, Johnny, you're an incredible young man. You're spectacular. And this behavior is not like you. Always separate the person from the problem. You are not the problem. This stupid little thing that we have in the middle of our brain, we've been given this 2 million-year-old brain and nobody gave us a user's manual. So sometimes we get caught up in old habits, old patterns, old belief systems. And here's where I want to go. This bottom left box stands for results. Why do we talk about beliefs? We talked about decisions. We talked about beliefs. Now, why do we talk about results? Because that's why we're here. How do you make the money? How do you build the business? How do you create financial freedom and security? How do you provide for your family? How do you become a better parent? How do you become a better leader, a better lover? How do you get a better body? How do you get what you want? You need the results. Well, let me tell you. Our current results are a direct reflection of our belief systems. I'll say it again. Our current results are a direct reflection of our belief systems. Hopefully you can already kind of tell that I really love people. I mean, I would not be doing this at this level if I didn't really freaking love people. But there's an interesting thing. When you really love someone, you tell them the truth, right? You guys ever heard the phrase, the truth will set you free? Have you heard that phrase? Does anybody know the second half of that phrase? Did you even know there was a second half to the phrase? The truth will set you free. But first, it's going to hurt like hell. So let me hurt you a little bit here tonight. How much money you have in your bank account tonight had nothing to do with the pandemic. It had everything to do with your beliefs that have surrounded money for the last 6 days, 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years. Your body today, my friends, listen, I love you. Genetics might have played a role at some point, but today your body is the way it is because what you believe is healthy or unhealthy. Should I work out or should I skip it? What should I do? What shouldn't I do with my body? Relationships are the same thing. Should I be in one? Should I not be in one? Should I accept this in a relationship? What should I accept? What shouldn't I accept? All of our results stem from our belief systems. But please listen to me. Nobody on this call is broken. Nobody here needs fixing. But if you're unhappy with your results today, it's not even your fault. It's a set of conditioned belief systems. That's what we're here to transform tonight. Why do I say conditioned? Anybody want to take a stab at that one? I'm using a very specific word, conditioned belief systems. Why do I say that? Throw it in the chat if you think you got the answer. Over the program from when you're young, they're changeable. And yeah, led to believe. It comes from childhood. Stanford University did this study years ago. They found that the average human being all around the world, 60% of our habits, 60% of the ways we think, act, walk, talk today, right now at this age, was actually formed by the age of 5. By the age of 18, you've adopted 100% of these. Nobody on this call woke up this morning and said, gee, I can't wait to fear rejection. Nobody says that. So where did that come from? You learned it from an experience. You learned it from a person. It got reconditioned, got reinforced. And all of a sudden you're afraid to pick up the phone because of some stupid crap that happened in the past. But here's the best part. Because like Ann said, you can recondition them. At any point, you can make a decision right here, right now. You know what? Listen, this is no longer serving me. It's time to make some change. For things to change for us, we have to change. For things to get better for us, we have to get better. And this is where we start. Step number 1, write it down if you want. Clarity is power. Clarity is power. So here's what I'd like you to do. In the chat box, quick as you can, I want you to write down what are 2 results, 2 outcomes, 2 goals that you have. And hang on. I want to know how advanced I can go tonight. Is everyone still with me? Am I losing everybody? Is everyone still with me? 2 roads to take right here, right now. Do you want me to be professional or do you want to be best friends? A lot of you guys say professional. Okay. And that's fair. You can ask that. But here's what I would say. For you professionals, if I was being professional, I would say, what are your goals and outcomes for the next 12 months? What would you like to accomplish over the next year? But if we were best friends and we're sitting at the bar having a drink, talking about life, love, business, our futures, if you told me your 12-month goal, I would tell you that's stupid. Why? 12 months doesn't exist anymore. In this world that we live in right here, right now, there's 90 days in today. Show someone a 5-year plan of your life right here, right now. What are they going to do? They're going to laugh in your face. We have no idea what's going to happen with COVID, with the governments, with the lockdowns. We have no freaking clue. So what do we got? We got 90 days. But you tell me right here, right now, could you transform your bank account in 90 days, guys? Yes or no? Could you transform your body in 90 days? Yes or no? Could you transform your relationships in 90 days? Yes or no? And if I really was your best friend, I would not settle with you for 12 months. So you decide right here, right now. Throw it in the chat box. What are your goals? What are you going to do? Let's do one professional goal and one personal goal. What do you want in your business? How much money you want to earn? How many team members you want to recruit? How much you want to do in sales or production? What is your goal? You want to hit a certain rank? You want to hit a certain level? What is it you want to do? But then don't forget the personal goal too. You want to lose some weight? You want to gain some muscle? You want to get in shape? You want to travel? You want to write a book? What is it? What do you want to do? 5 G's in 90 days. I love it, Tammy. I want to be a diamond. I want to be healthier, fitter. Lose weight too. Professional diamond. Love it. The next diamond this year. There we go. 20,000 a month. Now we're talking. Janine, that's only $240K a year. That's not that much. You could do that. That's easy. Come on. 5K diamond. Have a great relationship. I love that, Daniel. Owner code 10 builders. I want to find a partner. Get on the pool. Achieve ambassador double. Lose 15 pounds. 10K per month. Double diamond. Shredded. Retire my husband. Kim, love that one. 100,000 a month. There we go. That's only 1.2 million a year. That's not that bad. Come on. 50,000 per month. Bronze and see my abs. There we go. I want to retire me. There we go. Now, here's the secret. I see that nobody wrote down interstellar space travel. So what does that mean? Literally everything you wrote down has already been accomplished by somebody else in a worse situation than you're starting in today. I joke about this all the time, and I tell people, I said, listen, someone always says, I can't be successful because I've got kids. And then someone comes along, they've got 32 kids, and they're making the money. You know, ha, 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 that's a knee slapper, right? But I got to tell you, I did this workshop a couple of years ago down in Florida. And this woman storms up to me after the workshop. She says, Stephen, I'm the #1 saleswoman here. I said, great, lady. Why are you telling me this? She says, I have 18 kids. I said, you damn well better be the top salesperson here. Right? And then you see someone who says, I don't have the time to work out. I don't have the time to work out. I don't have the time to work out. And then here comes along the single mother who's got 2 kids, 2 full-time jobs. She's going to school full-time, and she's at the gym every damn day. There's always somebody who believes that they can and always somebody who believes that they can't. Either way, you're right. But let me tell you the magic secret right here. If you want to achieve all of your goals, there's only one way to do it. Take massive, determine, what's the word, everybody? Action. You want to lose weight? Take action. You want to make more money? Take action. You want a better relationship with the kids? Take action. You want to retire your husband, retire your wife, retire yourself? Take action. So why don't we do it? Anybody know? Fear. Spot on. And we can go right back to this list, can't we? We can say, well, listen, I mean, I'm not afraid, but I'm not that confident. I'm not really afraid, but I feel like hell and I'm tired all the time and I just don't have time. I got kids. Listen, we could go right back to this list, but it's not just a thing, it's a feeling. How would you feel if you accomplished all of your goals? Fantastic. I always ask people like, hey, what does it feel like when your sports team wins the championship? And everyone's like, yeah, woo, yeah. And I'm like, what's it going to feel like to achieve your goals? They're like, yeah, it'll be okay. Like, listen, I'm telling you, friends, I'm not just telling a joke here, but here's the thing. There is a psychological trigger that we have to master here tonight. And here's what it is. This is a scale, not cherries. Just pretend, okay? That's a scale. In the back of our mind, there's only two reasons you've ever done anything in your entire life. Or need to avoid pain or need to gain pleasure. Think about this example. In school, why did we all do our term paper the night before it was due? Why? Why did we do it? Fiona, I love your words. Thank you so much. Avoid pain. Leading up to it, it was too painful to do, too pleasurable not to do. What happened the night before? The scales switched. Now all of a sudden it's too painful not to do it, and you started to find some pleasure in something you never thought would be pleasurable. Why am I bringing this up? Team, is there going to be some pain associated to your goals this year? Yes or no? Yeah, we would be stupid and naive to say, oh, no pain, no pain. Oh, of course there is. You're going to have to find time when there's no damn time. You don't have the money, you got to beg, borrow, and steal to invest it. You got to freaking figure it out. But if in your mind, all that pain weighs this much, and all the pleasure that you're going to get out of your goal is woohoo. Can you tell why someone wouldn't take consistent action? Even the best of us, even the brightest of us, even the most motivated people won't always take action. Why? Because it's too painful some days and not pleasurable enough. You gotta use pain and pleasure, or it will use you for your entire life. I know we're going to wrap this up in like 15, 20 minutes here. So let me give you this whole workshop into one sentence. Here it is. Should versus must. Should versus must. How many of you guys have kids? Anybody in here have kids? Oh, a lot of you guys. Okay, teach me this. If you have kids and you have to put food on their table, is it a difficult decision to go to work that day? No. Why? You must feed them. You don't stop and think about it. How do I feel about this today? Do my kids deserve to eat? They ate last week. Do they need to eat this week? You don't do any of that crap. How many walls would you run through in order to feed your children? How many people would you run through in order to feed your children? As many as it freaking takes. There's no time, you find the time. There's no money, you find the money. You don't want to get off the couch and cook dinner? Surprise, surprise. What do? Get your butt up, you go cook dinner. Why? Because when it's a must, we tap into this last word in this last box here called potential. Potential. Call it creativity, call it resourcefulness. Tony calls it unleashing the power within. I mean, team, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you call it. It's that thing, that fire that's always burning deep down inside of us. It's always there. You just got to tap into that sucker. Because when it's a must, you take more action and you get better results. Why? Listen, there's always one more salad we can choke down. There's always one more workout we can do. There's always one more phone call we can make. There's always one more rejection we can take. There's always more potential hiding inside of us. For those of you who say, I'm at the end, I can't do anymore, that's bullshit and you know it. You go see a personal trainer, what do? Do 20 push-ups. You do 20 push-ups, you're shaking, you're sweating, and they say do 10 more. I can't do 10 more. Do 10 more. And you do 10 more, and then you get 10 more, and they're like, do 5 more. I can't move anymore. Do 5 more. You have someone there pushing you. And when it becomes a must, you find it, don't you? Every single one of us in this call at some point in our lives has dug deep. We found something inside of us that made us go harder. And it didn't take more time. It didn't take more love. It didn't take more support. It didn't take more money. It took more you. That's what it took. And the problem is when we get on this call in 15 minutes or so here, I've got a little extra time. I'll be able to just hang out and answer questions and do some coaching if you need it. But here's the deal. When we get off this call, I know the exact words that you're going to say. I've done so many workshops like this all over the world, and I know the exact words you're going to say when we get done. God, that Steven guy, he was so cool and funny and handsome and charismatic. He was probably the coolest guy I've ever met in my entire life. I know you guys are all going to say this. Okay, maybe not. Maybe but here's what you will say. God, that guy was right. I should be making more phone calls. I should be eating healthier. I should be spending more quality time with the kids. I should be asking for referrals. I should be working on my business. I should be going to the gym. I should be spending where, I should write that book I've always wanted to write. Most people I meet spend their entire lives shooting all over themselves. Come on, you got to give me that one. That's a good one. Come on, Donna. Give me that one. That was a funny one. Shooting all over ourselves. If it's a should, this stuff is too hard. You're right, Steven. I should do that, but there's a lot of cat videos on Facebook, and I should do that, but maybe I'm not good enough and smart enough. I should do that, but I just can't get myself to follow through. I'm just too stressed out, man. I don't want to fail and get rejected again, and I'm not, I've got other stuff I had in my past. There's so much stuff going on, and I don't know if I can even do this, and I'm tired, and I don't feel good, and there's a lot of catastrophes in the world. There's COVID, there's this, and I could do that tomorrow. It's no big deal. Nobody on this call has every single one of these, but is it fair to say all of us have one or two of them, guys? Yes or no? And would you call that stuff empowering or limiting? You tell me, is that an empowering belief or a limiting belief? Limiting. So play with me. If I start with a limiting belief, do I tap into more potential or less? Correct. If I tap into less potential, do I take more or less action? Less. Do I get better or worse results? And then what happens to my belief system in that moment? It gets worse. It goes down. See, I told you so. I told you it's the market. I told you it's the economy, taxes, president, weather, as the CEO. It's all Dan's fault. I told you so. Who is the most important person to prove something to? Ooh, I'm clicking the wrong buttons here. Who's the most important person? I had this guy this morning. He's like, my wife. I was like, okay, maybe second most important person, right? But when you prove it to yourself, your beliefs become your reality. Then you tap into even less potential and you take even less action because what's the point? I tried that already and it didn't work. I made 10 phone calls. Nobody answered the phone. Why the hell would I do that today? I showed the business to 5 people. Nobody said yes. God, I can't do that again. I went to the gym 3 times last week. I still don't have a 6-pack. I'm never going back there again. That's stupid. We stop getting results. We start reinforcing the belief. And then we start doing the same thing over and over again and expect a different result, which is the definition of insanity. Thank you, Anne. Now, again, you said I'm not losing anybody. I got 10 minutes with you guys, right? You got energy for 10 more minutes? Can I keep going really advanced? Okay. Here's the challenge. Most high achievers like yourselves do a call like this with me and they get off and they're very nice and they're very kind. They're like, wow, Steven, you really motivated me today. You inspired me today. And that was really cool. I'm going to go back and I'm going to work twice as hard. Huge freaking mistake. Why would working twice as hard be a huge mistake? You got to work smart, Trish, right? Here's the reality. It's nice to talk about like the esoteric idea, but let me give you like the real reality. Most people go back to doing what worked for them in the past. If you do what you did 5 years ago to become successful in today's economy, today's market, today's world, are you going to get the same results anymore, guys? Yes or no? No, hell no. Are you magically going to get better results? No. So what do you get? You get worse results. You start building momentum in the wrong direction. For those guys here in the States, and I know other countries have this too, but 7 years ago doesn't seem like a long time ago to me. 7 years ago, I was advertising in the yellow pages. They don't freaking exist anymore. Let me just go out and take twice out the ads and then I'll be successful again. It's not going to freaking work. How many of you guys, and be honest with me, how many of you felt a little burnt out this last year? How many of you felt a little burnt out? Give me some hands up. Come on. If you lie about this, you lie about other things too. Come on, Terry. Come on. You felt a little burnt out, right? Come on, a little bit. Why? Let me tell you the secret. Nothing pisses off high achievers more than when you work harder and get less. Fiona, am I hitting the nail on the head? Here's the thing, team. We can't just work harder. We got to work smarter. Where does that start from? At the beginning of this. You can't magically change your results overnight. You can try to change your action, but here's the truth. If you're not tapping into a lot of potential, that action is going to look like inaction. Where does that potential come from? What do you believe is true? What do you believe is positive? Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? You can go knock on 100 doors today and try to get people to sign up. But if you go knock on 100 doors and you're like, gee, you wouldn't want to buy anything from me, would you? How well is that going to freaking go? Non-existent. Team, tell me, be honest with me. How much money did you leave on the table this year because of this crap? Not because you weren't good enough, not because you weren't smart enough. I'm talking in critical moments you said, I don't have the time. In critical moments, you didn't ask for the referral because you were afraid of rejection. In critical moments, you didn't follow through because you were tired. How much money? Is it 10 grand, 5 grand, 20? Put a real number in the chat box. Don't put $1 billion if you don't think it was actually $1 billion. Put a real number in there for me. $5,000. I love it. Keep them coming. 50,000. 5,000, 5,000, 100,000, 100,000, 500,000. Dan, yeah, that's probably true, brother. Joy, 300,000. Probably 10,000. Just started. Tammy, play with me for a second here. Is it fair to say if you left $10,000 on the table this last year, it's going to cost you another $10,000 going forward if you don't make some changes right here, right now, today? Is that fair to say, yes or no? Absolutely. How many of you guys see this for yourselves? Here's the thing. It doesn't magically change just because we identified the problem. We got to take action. We got to make some changes. Again, for things to change, we got to change. For things to get better, we got to get better. I love the problem that we have doesn't change in the same emotional state that we created it in. I'll say it again. Our current problems that we have today can't be changed in the same emotional state that you're in. If someone is really depressed and they've got problems with depression, you can't change that problems with depression in the state of depression. Does this make sense? Let me give a more popular quote. The skills that got us out of Egypt will not get us to the promised land. Our current level of thinking will not get us to where we want to be. If it would, you would already be there. For some of you guys who wrote down 5,000, I'll be your best friend, even if you don't want to be my best friend here tonight. But I'll just tell you, I think you're selling yourself a little short. Could you make, if you were really on fire, if you were really on point, could you make $1,000 a month? Come on, you can sell the crap in your garage and to make that. We all have the capability. So if you're saying 5,000, listen, I get it. I'm sure you got family, you got a job, you got a lot of stuff going on. But I think one of the reasons you don't hit your goals is because your goals aren't big enough. Here's what I want to do before we get out of here. I got 2 major lessons left for you. Is everyone okay with two more? You guys are good? Like I said, we have an event coming up in November in Florida. I would love to invite every single one of you to this, but here's the challenge. A lot of you guys just won't be able to come to the States in November. Just travel restrictions, everything. So I wanted to give you like everything here tonight. So here's what I want to do. I want to give you a tool of influence so that you can sell more, influence more people, and really make this happen. How many of you guys want to sell more this year? Anybody like to make more money? Would that be kind of cool? Fantastic. Here's what I learned from Tony, and I'll give you a quick little story here when I teach you this, because I've got a little framework that'll help you sell more, influence more people. Tony taught me, what is leadership? Leadership is influence. It's your ability to actually get someone to take action. When I first started speaking for Tony Robbins, I was pretty good. I'd been a martial arts instructor for many years. I'm very comfortable in front of a crowd. Like I can yell and scream and I can do everything. And what happened at the beginning of this, everyone would stand up and clap for me. Oh my God, Stephen, you're the greatest speaker we've ever had. This is so amazing. You're so cool. You bring in so much energy. And I thought I was doing a good job. I had a little attitude adjustment when I heard Tony say, no, you suck. Here's my hero, the guy I've looked up to for almost 20 years, the guy I've worked to for 7 years, the guy who transformed my life. He said, I suck. Now, he said it for some shock value, but he said, listen, I'm joking a little bit, but also I'm not. Here's why. If people stand up and clap for you and cheer for you, that doesn't mean that they may move forward and took action on their life. That means they're going to clap and they're going to cheer and they're going to walk right back out that door and do the same old shit they were doing before they walked in that door. That means you're not a leader. The only way that you know that you're a leader is if you get someone to take out that freaking credit card, put down on a form, sign up right here, right now. He said, here's how you know when you're going to be successful. Is when people get to the end of your class and it's quiet and everyone looks a little pissed off. I said, well, Tony, I don't want to piss people off. I don't want to make them angry. He said, no, think about it. They came to work to make money and you're asking them to spend money. And the only reason they're going to spend money is if they believe they have more inside of them. They know they need to do it. They know they need to work on themselves. They know they need to invest in themselves. They know they need to take the opportunity. They weren't expecting it, but they know they have to do it. Do you see what I'm talking about, guys? Yes or no? It changed my life. When I really started to understand that my job wasn't to cheer and get people to cheer for me, because it fed my ego, it made me feel good. But at the end of the day, people just went right back to doing what they would. And it's not even about buying a Tony Robbins ticket. It's about investing yourself in the moment, whether it's a book, an audio program, and something in that moment. Signing up for a business opportunity, sign on the dotted line. Like, let's freaking go. Let's make this happen. You know you need to do this for your family. You're going to go back home to your family. You're going to face them and say, listen, I know the current opportunity, my current job is not going to provide for our long-term financial security, let alone freedom. And I'm not looking for an opportunity. How would you say that to your family? Now, that's kind of harsh. You got to build a lot of rapport to be able to say something like that to somebody. Hopefully, I've been kind of harsh here tonight. Hopefully, I've built enough rapport with you guys that I've said some pretty direct things because I want you to change. I want you to grow. If you want to make 5,000, I'm telling you, that's not big enough. If you want to replace your income, it's time to shoot for 50,000 because the strategy to make 50,000 a year is very different than 5,000 a year. The strategy to make 500,000 a year is very different than 50,000 a year. Shoot bigger, have bigger goals, bigger strategies, you can do it. So let me give you this tool of influence. Here it is. Write this down. ROI-COI-RON. Excuse me. Losing my voice already. I've been speaking all day. ROI-COI-RON. Now, everyone pretty much knows what ROI stands for, but humor me. What does that stand for, everybody? ROI. Return on investment. Hey, Fiona, give me $1,000 today. I'll make sure you make an extra $100,000 this year. Would you make that trade? Yeah, it's a dumb question, right? You wouldn't say, would I make the trade? You'd say, how many times can I do it? Ka-ching, 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 baby. Let's go, right? Guys, business owners, that's your marketing. That's your advertising. In business, you're trying to create a system that you put $1 in, you get $2 out. Now, how does that translate to this business? I'll tell you, just stick with me. But here's the thing that people fail to realize, especially as a beginning business owner. They think that money is the most expensive investment. Money is the cheapest investment. Why? You can spend every dime that you have, get a credit card, max that sucker out, they'll still give you another credit card. I don't know where you guys in your part of the world, but here in the United States, they're printing $2 trillion every 2.5 months. The amount of money that's in our system right now is absolutely bonkers. It's insane. What does that mean? Does that mean we just all of a sudden become wealthier and wealthier? No, it means that the dollar is crashing in value. But people think that, here's the deal, if the dollar is crashing in value, saving money doesn't make sense anymore. Investing it does. You get hard tangible assets like a business, like a piece of real estate, like something along those lines. You can invest yourself. That's where your money should be going right now. But here's the thing. Fiona, time. What's the most expensive investment? Time. Why? If you spend an hour, you never get it back. You spent an hour and 15, 20 minutes with me already here tonight. Hopefully it's been worth your time. Some of you guys are up late at night. Some of you guys are early in the morning. Hopefully it's been worth this investment of time. But here's the truth. You're never getting this time back. You had to listen to my bad jokes. They're stuck with you forever now. Those of you with kids, here's the last investment. Energy. And if you have kids, you know how energy is in short supply. But here's what a lot of beginning owners, business owners make the big mistake. They have a job. They sign up for a network marketing company like this, a great opportunity to make things happen. But yet they think I can just invest time, and energy, and I'm going to become successful. Here's the problem. You got a job, you got family, you got kids. You don't have the freaking time. You probably don't have the energy. So you got to be far more effective. How do you be effective? Sharpen the saw. If anybody read the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, that's the last habit, sharpen the saw. If you gave me the task to go chop down a tree and you gave me an axe and you said, I need you to chop down that tree in 4 hours, I'm going to spend the first 3 hours sharpening the axe because then I can chop down the tree in 30 minutes and it's done. Here's the big thing for all of us here today. ROI is a big phrase. And Fiona, let me just keep playing with you for a second. Give me $10, I'll give you $100. Would you do that? You can unmute yourself if you want. Just come play with me for a second.
Yes.
Okay, give me 100, I'll give you 1,000.
Yes.
Give me 1,000, I'll give you 10,000.
Yes.
Give me 10,000, I'll give you 100,000.
If I had 10,000.
Okay, just yes or no, yeah? Give me 100,000, I'll give you $1 million.
I'll find 100,000.
There we go. Now, if I told you can only do one of these, which one are you going to pick? You guys can play along too. What would you pick if you could only do one of them?
10,000.
If I knew for sure that I was going to get the million, 100,000 is a lot though. But if I knew for sure I was going to get the million, probably 100,000.
Fiona, let's say that you didn't have $100,000, but you had $1 million on the line. You knew it was guaranteed. You knew it was there. What would you do?
Say that again.
You knew $1 million was on the line, but you didn't have 100,000. What would you do?
I'd find a way of getting that.
You'd find a way to get it. Hell, you can sell a kidney for $1 million. You can buy a new one.
Maybe not that.
What if Fiona and I said, listen, I'll give you $100,000, but I want $500,000 back. Would you make that trade?
if you said you give me
So
100,
I'll borrow you the $100,000 so you get your million, but I want 500,000.
Of course.
that makes a lot of sense. Of course, yes, yeah.
Team, listen to that very closely though. What you just said is at a 500% interest rate, it still made sense.
Yeah, of course
Yep.
it does. Yeah.
This is your business, team. The biggest challenge that business owners make is they think expensive, not expensive. That doesn't matter. What matters is return on investment.
Yeah.
Is everyone with me?
Yeah.
What does it cost me to get into ASEA here tonight? What does it cost? Is it $100? Is that what it is?
40 bucks.
40?
Yeah.
40 freaking dollars to start a brand new business. You know what my first business cost me? 120,000 freaking dollars.
Well, it's not really 40 because you have to have a minimum in order to earn commission. So it's 40, but you have to have a certain amount every month to earn commissions.
Okay, so Steve says 130 to 1030, something along that to be able to hit that number, right? Is that
Right.
proper?
Mhm.
Yeah, 100%.
They could go 2,500 and they've set themselves up ready to rock and roll.
Great, $2,500, and you got a real business making money from day one. That's awesome. Here's the second phrase, COI. This is not widely used. It stands for cost of inaction. How many of you guys know somebody, you talked about the business opportunity, they should have signed up when you told them to, they didn't, and it cost them big? How many of you guys know somebody like this? How many of you guys, like Tammy, you were even saying, like, I should have signed up sooner. How many of you guys did this for yourself? Like, oh shit, I had the opportunity, I didn't take it. What's the cost of inaction? Let me tell you a quick little story here. And I know we're way over time here, guys, so I appreciate you hanging out with me. Tony Robbins has this thing called the Platinum Partnership. It's his like highest level mastermind. It's about $160,000 a year to be a part of this special little group. There's only a few hundred people in it. Years ago, I'm checking into a hotel halfway across the world. One of my best friends, Jill, she signs up for the Platinum Partnership. She goes to the financial event. At the financial event, the Rothschild's family money manager comes, teaches them how to manage their money. I'm like, it's another freaking level. My friend Jill is sitting right next to the Bill and Hillary Clinton. Like, that's the level we're talking about, who's sitting at this, learning from Tony, how do they manage their money? So I'm checking in the hotel halfway across the world, and Jill calls me. Oh my God, Steven, send me $10,000 right now. I was like, Jill, do you need bail money? Like, what's going on? Are you in trouble? Like, are you in jail? Like, what's the deal? She said, no. She tells me the story. Tony gets up on stage at this financial event and tells everyone, I never want to be responsible for your financial decisions. I want to give you the evidence. I want to give you what I think. I want to give you this, but I want to empower you to make your own decisions. However, today I'm going to break my rule, and I'm just going to tell you straight up to invest in this new thing called cryptocurrency. Now, this is several years ago. So she calls me up. She's going to create this crypto account. I'm putting $10,000 in. Just send me $10,000. You don't got to think about it. I'll run the account. I'll manage it. I'll trade it. You ain't got to think about it. It's just going to make us money. It's going to be great. I said, Jill, I've got to be awake in 2 hours. I got to be up on stage. I'm tired. I haven't slept. I can't do this right now. Same kind of excuses we all give. I don't have time. I'm freaking tired. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it later. Well, get this. I felt a little bad. 2 weeks, I say no. 2 weeks later, I call her back up. I say, I sent you $5,000. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but I love you. I trust you. Have fun. She said, okay, cool. So get this. That day, she invests $10,000. 8 months later, she pulls out $380,000. 2 weeks later, I put $5,000 in. I cashed out that account 3 months ago. $2,200. What was my cost of inaction? Almost $400,000.
Mm-hmm.
But now listen to me close, because this is kind of advanced level thinking. This is where decisions get a little tough, because sometimes when we invest in things, it might go to zero. True.
Yeah.
But let me tell you the other part of the truth. Not doing anything always costs you more. If you are not investing in social media right now and learning how to create content that is going to sell your products and services in business, it's costing you. If you are not going to the gym right now and eating healthy and take care of your body, it's costing you. If you are not investing time and energy into your relationship right now, it's costing you. If you're not investing in your business, it's freaking costing you. And that's a cost we can almost never calculate. Here's the last phrase. It's called RON. Has anybody ever heard of this one?
Return on not investing.
Yeah, it's called return on nothing. It doesn't exist. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Come on, $40 to start your business? All right, look, it's $40 to get the license, get everything signed up, but really you got to invest a little bit more. You got to give me $1,000. We'll get you the inventory that you need, the product that you need to get you ready to go. Let's make this happen. $1,000, you can borrow that from your kids. Come on, let's make this freaking thing happen. There's no such thing as a free lunch. You want to build a business that's ultimately going to give you security and freedom? It's going to take some investment. What's your money doing right now? Sitting in a savings account? Listen, yes, you need some emergency funds. Yes, you got to take care of your family. I'm not telling you put yourself in a position where you can't eat tomorrow. But what I'm telling you is once you got your basics taken care of, it's monopoly money. It's time for you to freaking invest it. The only question is, are you going to do it now? Are you going to wait 10 years? Does everyone see how you can kind of play with these three phrases right here to not only convince somebody to sign up, but convince somebody to buy product, to influence someone, to get them to take action? Can you see this? Yes? Now, I'm not lying. I'm not being manipulative. I'm just telling the truth. But here's the challenge. Before we ever try to influence anybody else, who do we have to be able to influence first?
Self.
Yeah. Listen, I can't give you $1 if I don't have $1. I can't give you confidence if I don't have confidence. A lot of people in network marketing make this huge mistake. They try to influence someone when they're not doing it themselves. If you're not investing in the product, you're not using the product, you're not going through the process, you're not doing this, don't ever try to go after someone and say, well, you should sign up for this. We're going to be millionaires overnight. Yeah, good freaking luck. I buy my own tickets, Tony Robbins events. I get high on my own supply. Now, with that being said, here's the last lesson of the night. What stops people from taking action? What stops people from making things happen? What stops people?
Beliefs.
Beliefs. That's a good way to put it. How would I transform my life? There's only two ways to transform your whole life. This is what we're going to do right here, right now. Number one, discipline. You want to change your life? Discipline. Force yourself to do it. Here's the problem. It doesn't work. Everybody on this call has discipline. Every one of us has willpower. Sure, some of us more than others, but here's the truth. It doesn't last for any of us. Here's what discipline looks like. January 1st at the gym. What does January 2nd at the gym look like? Ghost town. Why? Someone's trying to force himself to do something in spite of a belief it's never going to work. You tried that last year, didn't work that time. You actually gained weight, didn't feel very good. You got to eat healthy. That sucks. You need a personal trainer, too much money. You should just quit. The phone's ringing, emails piling up. You're going to spend an hour here every day. You got to pick up the kids. Are you selfish? Stop. We all have that little voice in the back of our head. That's the conditioned beliefs from somewhere else. So how do you really create lasting change? Here's what it is and what we're going to do tonight. It's called a significant emotional event. This is how you create lasting change in your life, in your income, in your business. Does anybody on this call remember your first job? Anybody remember your very first job that you ever had? In the chat box real quick, throw me, how much money per hour did you make at your first job? How much money did you make? Tell you mine. I remember mine was $6.25. That was what I made an hour. $4.10 an hour, Ann says. $120 a week. $125 an hour, Elaine. Wow, $5. Cole, 17. Wow, okay. We got some youngins on here. $5. Marlena, $4 an hour. Here's an interesting question. Would any of you guys take a job making that money now? Dan, $2.50 an hour. Would you go back right now to make $2.50 an hour? 85 cents an hour. Would you do that? So what you're telling me is at some point in your life, you change the standards of what you were willing to accept in your income. For those of you guys who think 5,000 is a lot of money, or 10,000 is a lot of money, or 100,000 or 500,000 is a lot of money, here's the deal. It's really not when you start to understand that at some point you say, you know what, listen, 10,000 just isn't enough for me anymore. And just like you had that first job where you didn't make what you wanted to make, at that point it was probably, I remember 625. I was like, wow. I was 12 years old, something like that. I was like, wow, I'm going to be rich. And then at some point it was no longer worth it. I changed my standards. Things go up. Hell, I barely get out of bed for under $1 million these days. Why? Not because I'm so much better or smarter or cooler than anybody else. What I'm saying is that at some point the standard raises. Where did that come from? A significant emotional event. Every time something happened in your life that really changed things, it was because of a significant emotional event. Why does Tony still do his seminars after 44 years? He knows it's the fastest and easiest way to get somebody to change. You lock somebody in a room with a giant for 4 days, you make them walk on fire, all of a sudden they come out transformed. Surprise. But you had thousands of them. When you had kids, was that emotionally impactful, guys? Yes or no? Every one of your beliefs changed in 1 second. You got married, everything changed. You got divorced, everything changed. Here's the problem we face when you get off this call and give me 3 minutes. When you get off this call in 3 minutes here, you've got some decisions to make. But the challenge is most people never make a decision. They wait until the negative significant emotional event hits them before they decide to make a change. They wait until the bank account is at zero before they pick up the phone and start making calls.
Yeah.
They wait until the husband or wife leaves before they start making calls, before they change their attitude. They wait until somebody gets sick, somebody has a heart attack before they change their body and change their exercise, change their healthy eating habits. Could a decision be emotionally impactful, team? Yes or no? To bring this full circle from where we started here today, could a decision be emotionally impactful, guys? Yes or no? When you really, truly cut off any other option, you say, I've had it, never again, I'm done, I quit. In that moment, that's where your power is. That's where you're tapping into your potential. Come on. All of us know somebody who stopped smoking, not because of the nicotine or the patch, but because one day they said, I'm freaking done. I've had it. Do we know somebody like this? Norel, did I say that right? I'm so sorry. Norel, can you do me a favor? Unmute yourself for just a second. What was the moment? Tell me the
I gave
moment.
up cigarettes 20 years ago. It was costing too much money.
So one day you said, this is too much money. I hate this.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I ended up with stepchildren too, so I had 4 kids to feed.
Wow. Okay, too much money, kids to take care of. Guys, listen, all of us have these all day. The truth is we want to manufacture them. How do we create these? Here's what it is. Here's our exercise for the night. And for those of you guys who have no interest in going to you can't come to the Tony event, you're more than welcome to hang out with us for a couple more minutes. But I'm going to give you your exercise for the night. This will change your life if you let it. I know that out of 100 people I speak to, 99 of them have been putting off a couple of decisions in their life. There's 184 people on this. I'm guessing 182 of them at least. There's one big decision and one little decision. You know you've been putting it off. That you know if you made it right here, right now, today, tonight, it would change your life. I want you to grab your notes real quick. I want you to start journaling out real quick. What's one little decision that you know you've been putting off? It's something small. It doesn't have to be big. Man, I just need to clean my desk. I need to clean up my room. I just need to, clean up the house. And I need to, I've really been trying to get in shape. I need to go buy a pair of running shoes. That's what I need to do. That's little decision, something small. but also there's some big decision you've been putting off too. And that one you probably won't be able to solve overnight. But that's something that you're going to take action on here tonight when we get off this call. If that means making a phone call, if that means scheduling an appointment, if that means doing some research online, if that means going and buying a book and starting to study and train, a big decision says, listen, I really want to take this business serious, but I don't know how to sell. I need to go pick up some books on selling, and I need to learn this concept because I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. You know what? I really just need to call Dan and say, you know what, man, I'm in. I'm committed. Here's my goal. Here's my public declaration. I'm going to make this happen. So write this down for yourself right now. What's one little decision, one big decision that you've been putting off that you're going to take action on tonight? And what I'd like you to do is write out 1 or 2 or 3 things that you can do immediately. So a lot of you guys have big goals in this business. You want to go find people. Maybe it's as simple as tonight as just writing down a list of people that you know that might be interested in the business. And tomorrow you give them a call or send them a text message, send them an email. How many of you guys can already think of something? You get your hands up. You can already think of something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I always feel awful. So maybe your first decision, my friend, is that you go take care of your health. Maybe before you try to change the world, you change your country. Maybe before you try to change your country, you change your city. Maybe before you try to change your city, you change your community. Maybe before you try to change your community, you change your neighborhood. Maybe before you change the neighborhood, you change your family. Maybe before you try to change your family, you change your damn self. Everyone wants to change the world, but they don't start with themselves. You got to start with yourself. Now, that's your homework. For those guys who are interested in this thing, I'll give you this last couple of notes here. I know we're way freaking over time. I promise you it's going to be half an hour, and we're already 12 minutes over that. So here's the dates and the event. West Palm Beach Convention Center. That's in Florida. How many of you guys think 4 days with the #1 success coach on the planet would do something to transform your life and your business? How many of you guys think that? Throw a 1 in the chat box if you actually think that hanging out with Tony Robbins for a couple of days would actually transform your life and your business. Absolutely, 100%. But here's our big challenge. Who's actually committed? Who's going to make this freaking thing happen? Who's going to go? Who's going to invest in stuff? What are you going to do? And here's what I'd like to do for this last just minute or 2 here. I'll share what this event is about, because has anybody never been to this Unleash the Power Within event? Never been. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, guys. Okay. Yeah, Dan, that's what we talked about this. Dude, brother, you're coming. I'm sorry. One way or the other. We're getting you there. Here's day 1. It's called Turn Fear into Power. You told me earlier, what's the thing that stops people from making decisions? Fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown, fear of success, fear of looking stupid, fear of trying and not working out, fear of failure, whatever it is. Tony, on day 1, he teaches how do you be in a peak emotional state. So when you're afraid, you can snap back into that strength and that power and that confidence in that moment. Snap out of it 1 second. At the end of the night, Tony's like, do you feel strong? You're like, yeah. Do you feel powerful? Yeah. Now let's go walk on fire. And you're like, wait, what? Has everyone heard of the fire walk? Do you know what you're getting yourself into here? 15 feet, 2,000 degrees, burning hot coals. It can melt steel, but we walk through it barefoot on the first night. Why the hell would you do something like that? A significant emotional event. When you get across those hot coals, you do something you never thought you could have done before. You look back and you see, oh my God, I just did that. What are you going to say? If I can do that, I can do anything. That's nothing I can teach you. You can't read that in a book. No matter how many seminars we do together, until you have a significant emotional event like that, it's not going to make sense. But you storm through fire, cold calling is no problem anymore. Getting up in front of a group of people is no freaking problem. I walked on fire. Are you kidding me? You don't scare me. Different attitude, different set of beliefs. Day 2, here's what it is. It's called success conditioning. Like I mentioned, listen, we can pick on Dan because Dan's so freaking successful. He has a formula for his success. If he is more successful than you at this business, it's not because he's better, taller, faster, stronger, smarter than you. It's because he's doing something different. Here's the challenge, though, especially with really successful people. Most of them don't really know what they're doing so differently. So when you ask someone, how are you successful? They'll say something pretty basic, like, well, it's consistency. That's what it is. Well, you can't freaking become successful with one word that says consistency. No, who did you call? Why did you call those people? How did you organize that list? You said this to that person, that to that person. Why did you switch? I don't understand. We have to become detectives because success leaves clues. Day 2, Tony teaches all the formulas for success, not just so you can understand some of the formulas for financial success, but so that you understand, how do I elicit a formula? How do I find someone? If I want to be the best at skiing in the world, you're going to have the ability at the end of this, go up to the greatest skier, watch them ski, ask them a few questions, and you'll be 10 times better than you were. That's where the cool part is. That's called modeling. Here's the third day. It's called transformation. And if you've ever heard of anybody who's gone to a Tony Robbins event, for those of you guys who cannot come to Florida, here's your homework tonight. On Netflix, there's a documentary. It's in every freaking country. It's called I Am Not Your Guru. It follows Tony Robbins at one of his events. It's kind of like participating in the event. It's a very short thing. It's only an hour and a half, 2 hours. Trish, you watched it, right? You get to really see what these events are all about. But this is Unleashed Power Within. It's 50 hours long. So you can imagine all the stuff that you might have missed by just watching a little video. Transformation Day, Tony says, look, you have 2 or 3 beliefs in the back of your head that are guiding every decision of your life. If you change those beliefs, your life will change automatically. Because if you no longer believe those things, you no longer tap into the lack of potential, no longer take those actions, you get different results, everything changes. I'll tell you my 2 beliefs when I walked in the door. This event is my 36th Unleash the Power Within. Me and my lady are going. I bought us our tickets already. We're set to go. My first belief was, if I have money, my family is going to reject me. I made a bunch of money early on in my career. My brother came up to me and said, oh, you're too good for us now, aren't you? I spent it all fast as I could, got rid of it. But I had a second belief. If I don't have money, my dad is going to reject me. Do you guys see the conflict in these beliefs? I made and lost 3 fortunes by the age of 24 because I was trying to decide whose love do I crave more in the moment. How many of you guys have had a really good month and a not so good month, and a really good month and a not so good month? That's where it comes from. You change those beliefs, you change your life. Here's the last day. It's called Health Day. It's my favorite day. I don't know if you guys can tell. I have a little bit of energy. I don't know if you can tell. I've only been jabbering for like 2 hours here. And this is like hour number 15 of me speaking here today. Can you tell? It's because this is actually vodka. No, I'm just joking. I'm just teasing. Tony teaches all his energy secrets on Sunday. It's my favorite freaking day. The guy is almost twice my age and he runs circles around me. The guy is 61 years old. He just had a baby. Are you freaking kidding me? 80 companies, brand new newborn, travels all over the world, does all this other stuff. I want that energy to run my business and to help Tony in this role. But also, I want the energy in reserve to go home and have a passionate relationship all night long. I want the energy in reserve to go on vacation and actually freaking enjoy it and not be so damn stuck in bed that I can't, I'm so tired. A couple of you guys mentioned, I feel like crap all the time. You need this event more than anybody else. Health is wealth. The goal here today is not to be the richest man or woman in the graveyard. It's to have a high quality, high energy life leading up to the end. That's what we guys, how many of you guys got some real value out of here tonight? You got some value? Yes? Fantastic.